Chapter 9. Now there was this time of in-between, and during its span an elusive old foe, money, drew us into its merciless mesh and was our master. I will confess that I was an unwilling partner in this last. Each morning, even before the dawn came slipping, cold now and wet with gray, wraithy fog, I routed them and stood over them, prodding them to stand up and open their eyes, to dress, wash, eat, and gather up the tools and go out and do what had to be done. Sleepy and ill-humored, shivering with the cold, they would shamble out and set their feet one in front of the other, and we would start off down the valley, the wagon in tow, the wheels of its creaking and rattling with every step and turn. I would try to get them to sing or talk, do anything to raise their spirits, but they remained sullenly silent. At that hour they hated me, and I hated myself, knowing how I appeared to them. A pinch-faced crone, straggle-haired, bony, ragged, too desperate for anyone with only 14 years on them, but still driven by a desperation that was unholy and ugly. Straggling up the mountainside through the sodden, gloomy daybreak, I would see the beauty of it all around me, free for the looking and the listening. Surely, I would think, the Lord is here. Roy Luther believed that he was, and I believe it too. He is here and watching over everything, helping it. I believe that. But if this is so, where is my share of the help? Answer me that. There isn't going to be any help for me, is there? There's just going to be me and this mountain and that other one over there and these 3 children and whatever good we can make for ourselves. Within a damp, sheltered wood of Fraser firs and rhododendron and laurel, we dug lady slipper root, Noah's Ark. And from the dry desolation of a waste area, we dug the spindle-shaped root of the yellow dock, which is a plant of the buckwheat family. We felled young wild cherry trees and skinned them of their bark, peeling back the smooth reddish-brown outer layers to reach the green ones underneath. Sugar Boy's stones and gravelly trails finished Romy's shoes. Late of an afternoon, we loaded all of our wild harvest, and Devola drove us to Mr. McConnell's general store, and we bought him a new pair, sturdy brown with black cleated soles. Mrs. Connell came gliding out from behind her house quarters curtain to watch the shoe buying and then the selection of foodstuffs which had to be done so carefully. She looked hard at Devola, who was wandering up and down the aisles, and said, "Whose car is that you children are driving, Mary Call?" "It belongs to Kaiser Pease. He's letting us use it while he's in the hospital." "Does Devola have her driver's license?" "Kaiser took her to get it the day he had his accident, yes'm." Mrs. Connell sucked her powdery lips. "How's Roy Luther?" "He's better, still not able to visit with people. Oh, that reminds me. He needs razor blades again this time. Will I have to buy the whole packet, or can I just buy one? Or can I buy just one?" "They only come in packets of 5, said Mrs. Connell. But Mr. Connell, coming to the center where we were standing, opened the box of blades and took one of them out and added to the parcel piles of shoes and beans and sugar and tea and flour, which took nearly all of our wildcrafting money. Mr. Connell counted out in my hand what cash we had left, and said he was sorry it wasn't more, and Romy, though I pinched his arm warningly, exchanged a large stare with Mrs. Connell, and said he was sure hated to see other people enjoy the misery of others. Ooh, the 10-year-old boy. Wow. Where was I? That was good. Mrs. Connell sniffed and touched her papery cheeks with her fingertips and said when she came to see Roy Luther next time she was going to speak to him about Romy's manners. In a swish of lilac scent, she went past us and stood outside and watched us load our supplies and drive off. "I'm going to fix her," promised Romy. "I'm going to do it the very next time she comes sniffing and smelling around our house. What I'd like to do is blow her old head off, but I don't want people to think I'm crazy, so I'll have to think of something else. Don't worry, I will. I'll think of something to fix her." He spent all one evening painting a side that said "Pox" in red letters, and this he nailed to the front gate. What kind of pox? I asked. Just pox, was his dark-browed answer. She can take her pick what kind I wish on her. If we had pox and Miss Breathitt got wind of it, she'd have the health people out here, I said. Then we'd be in trouble sure enough. For us, Mrs. Connell is too dangerous a woman to do any messing around with, Romy. You let me handle her when she comes. You just keep your mouth shut. Don't look at her and don't say anything to her. Go out and take the sign down now. We don't need it. He obeyed me, took the sign down, and came back, and until bedtime talked about school and medicine plants and money and what he was going to do when he grew up and where he was going to live, which sure wasn't going to be anywhere around Trial Valley or even in the state of North Carolina. He had me go with him out back to the cow pen and hung on the rail, gazing at our prize, said there wasn't anything to milking once you got the hang of it. From some of the cow surplus milk, which did, in fact, taste slightly of wild carrot, as Kaiser had said it would, Divola had made some cottage cheese, and Romy ate a bowl of that sprinkled with sugar and declared it to be better than ice cream. But he hadn't forgotten his promise to fix Mrs. Connell. Within him all the while there was a scheme brewing, aided and abetted by an old, raunchy, rancid smelling black bearskin, complete with head and feet and arms, which was property of Kaiser Peace. Imogene reported Romy's acquisition of the skin. There's a bear in Romy's closet, Mary Call. Is there? Well, I'll look at him after a while. Right now I'm studying. He's not alive, though. He's dead. Is that so? Romy says he's going to stuff him. That's nice. And stand him up in the road. Really? Then when Mrs. Connell comes, she'll be scared and run off. That'll be nice. Does reading hurt your eyes? Sometimes. Is it hurting them now? A little. Then why are you doing it? Because I don't want to be ignorant. You wish I'd go away, don't you? Yes. Then I'll go, said Imogene, and skipped away to see Divola. They played jacks on the front porch until it got too dark to see. On the way to school the next morning, walking because gas for the car cost too much, I did fleetingly remember the bearskin hanging in Romy's closet and did open my mouth to ask him about it. But just then Mr. Graybell pulled up alongside us and told us to hop in, and it was so crowded in the cab of his truck, and Alma and Gaither were quarreling over whose turn it would be that day to help out after school in the molasses mill, and I was already tired from having studied so late the night before and from having already been out that morning with Romy gathering lobelia plants, that the question slipped away from me and never got asked. In home economics class that day we made applesauce cake. Mine turned out sway-backed. During civics, a fat girl who didn't want to be that way fainted and had to be carried to Miss Breathitt's office, there to languish until the last bell rang. Romy and I walked home in a body-chilling rain. As we slogged along, Romy angrily said it wouldn't have hurt to accept a ride with the Graybells for as far in our direction as they went anyway. Mr. Graybell thought you were crazy turning him down like you did. He said, "Why did you?" I said, "Romy, we can't be friends with the Graybells. We can't be friends with anybody. You know that, and you know why." In the wet afternoon twilight, Romy's face appeared suddenly old and bereaved. Is it going to be like this forever? It is, isn't it? I started to say that forever was a long time, but then I thought, there's no comfort in that fool. And I couldn't think of anything that was comforting, so didn't say anything. The wind was eye-whipping and the rain was pounding at us. We left the road and sloshed through the meadow of Queen Anne's lace, sodden and bent and heavy. Romy said his new shoes would be ruined for sure and sat down on a rock and took them off and tucked them inside his wet shirt. Mrs. Connell tried to come visit us that night. Just after the lights of day had started to lower and the night to close in, I saw the headlights of her car weaving faint yellow way down on the lower end of the valley road. "It's Mrs. Connell," I said to Divola, who was standing beside me. I remember the sound of her car from before. Devola put her hand to her mouth. Roy Luther's door. I didn't close it after I cleaned his room today. We both ran inside to close the door and make other things look normal and unsuspicious. Devola set a pair of Roy Luther's shoes crooked in front of Cosby Luther's rocker in the sitting room. She draped one of his old sweaters across the back of the chair. In the bathroom, I laid out his razor and a wadded towel. We ran back out and stood on the porch. In a whisper, Devola said, She's still coming. Will we tell her Roy Luther's asleep? Yes. Will she believe us? I don't know. Should I make her some tea? No. Yes. Look, said Devola. Look, Mary Call. She's changed her mind. She's turning around. Look at her. Look. Why is she going so fast the other way now? Look at her. I looked and saw the reason. About 50 yards from our gate, there had appeared in the road a huge black bear with a brute of a face and wide open arms. I wasn't making a sound. He wasn't making a sound, and he wasn't moving. He seemed rooted to the center of the road, the black shadows curling around his feet and his head. Later on, I said to Romy that he shouldn't have used our pillows to make the stuffing for the bear. We'll never get the stench out, I said. He said, I like to die laughing, watching the old bird fly out of here. The wheels of her car didn't hardly touch the ground. She sure enough thought old Bruin was after her. I wish I could have made it chase her. I wish I could have made him chase her. I wish I could have made his jaws pump. Wouldn't that have been funny if I could have made his jaws go up and down? Did you see how fast she went around him? Swoosh, said Romy. That was the funniest thing I ever did see. You don't think she'll be back, do you? Probably. Tonight? You think she'll come back tonight? No, I don't think tonight, but she'll be back sometime. With both hands, Romy explored the shape of his head. It's not easy to hide things, is it, Mary Call? No. I wish we didn't have to. You want some cottage cheese? It's good with sugar sprinkled on it. No, thanks. I just want to go to bed. Romy helped himself to a bowl of cottage cheese. What will we do next time she comes back? I don't know. Maybe we'll have to think of something. Maybe winter will come early. That'll keep her away for a while at least.